Hello and good morning, everybody. It is with great pleasure that I would like to introduce this item. We have with us today two senior representatives from two prestigious international partner registry organizations. Our first speaker today is Tanya Gibson, the president of the International Association of Commercial Administrators. Tanya Gibson is also the director of the Corporations Division of the Arizona Corporations Commission. Tanya began working with the Corporations Division in November 2011. Prior to joining, Tanya was also the Appeals Board Administrator Law Judge for the Arizona Department of Economic Security, Unemployment and Insurance Division. I'm sure you'll join me in welcoming Tanya to the stage. Thank you very much. Over to you, Tanya.
Great. Thank you so much for that introduction. Just confirming that you can hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you and see you okay, Tanya. That's perfect.
Perfect. Thank you again. And before I get started, let me just say that I am really honored to be speaking before you today. Thank you for having me. Today, I would like to talk about the International Association of Commercial Administrators, or IACA. I will give you some general information about IACA, tell you some things that we've been up to, and then also talk about some things that we're looking forward to. So IACA was organized in 1978 in Louisiana. IACA consists of members from secretaries of state and other business registries in the United States, as well as international business registries. IACA is governed by a board of directors and is comprised of 4 sections. There's the business operations section, which relates to the formation and maintenance of business entities, corporations, LLCs, etc. There is also the secured transaction section, which relates to contracts and dealings between buyers and sellers, and is governed by the Uniform Commercial Code. Then we have the information technology section, which relates to data, servers, APIs, etc. And our 4th section is the international relations section. IACA hosts an annual conference every year in May. The conference is 4 days, beginning on a Sunday, ending on a Thursday. We have seminars throughout the day, and then in the evening, we have an evening event and entertainment. And the evening events are meant to expose our membership to the culture, the history of the jurisdiction in which the conference is being held. Our vision statement is to be a leader in education and resources for policymakers and government administrators regarding operational, technological, and legal issues facing business organization and secured transaction registered in the United States, Canada, and international jurisdictions. Now, some things that we've been up to. As we've all talked about, as we all know, the pandemic had far-reaching consequences on both businesses and the agencies and organizations that regulate them. As a result of the pandemic, we were forced to have our 2021 IACA conference as a virtual conference. Despite being virtual, it was very well attended. In fact, it was our highest attendance to date. We also have IACA office hours. IACA office hours are once a month, and it's basically a virtual meeting with our membership in order to engage them throughout the year in between conferences. The topics vary. They can range from anything from the Corporate Transparency Act to just a session for us to get together and talk about challenges and successes that we've had. We also know the importance of networking and sharing information with our sister organizations, both domestic and international. Just as I'm speaking here, I have spoken at other conferences. We have encouraged other agencies and organizations to attend our sessions, our webinars. It's our way of keeping in contact with people who are going through the same issues, challenges, and successes that we have here. We also make a conscious effort to stay abreast of new trends, issues, and information so that we can disseminate and educate our membership. IACA members have access to a listserv. That listserv is a way for our membership to ask a question, get information, share information. So for example, if you're interested in knowing how many jurisdictions offer free filings, you can go to the listserv, present your question, and other members on that listserv will respond with the information that you're seeking. It's a very valuable tool that we use, again, to keep our members engaged and also to share information. And finally, we have been hard at work planning our May 2022 conference, which will be held here in Phoenix, Arizona. It will be our first in-person conference in 2 years. On the topic, before I move on to what we're looking forward to, I just wanted to double back to our networking and sharing information with our sister organizations. One of the things that we rely on a lot is the International Business Register Survey. It's a survey that goes out to all members, domestic and international, for IACA and other organizations, CRF, IBRA, NAS. The information that we receive from that survey is very valuable to us. And I want to make sure that if you have not responded to that survey, if you could please do so. Our international population is where we're lacking in a lot of information. So if you could fill that survey out, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
Tanya, sorry, can I double check a second, just to make sure there are no slides to be shown at the moment, are there? You're not?
No.
Perfect. Sorry, I just wanted to double check and make sure that that we weren't missing anything our side, but no, sorry about that. Carry on.
No, that's okay. Thank you so much. Now, some of the things that we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to continuing to engage our membership, including information sharing and education. So we're making a conscious effort to keep abreast of what our jurisdictions are doing, the challenges they're facing, and the successes that they have had. And we strive to share those challenges and successes with our membership so that we can all learn from each other and possibly help each other. We're also going to continue to partner with our sister organizations, both domestic and international. This has been a practice of IACA since its inception, attending the conferences and webinars of other organizations and agencies, and again, encouraging other agencies and organizations to participate in our conference as well. We are also looking forward to our first in-person conference here in Phoenix, Arizona in 2022. We are actively planning the sessions and our evening events and the activities for that conference. And I would highly encourage all of you to attend that conference if you are able to. And finally, we're looking to expand our membership to include all 50 states and many more additional international jurisdictions. So currently, our membership is comprised of almost all US states and territories, but we want to have full participation from all US territories. So we are outreaching to those territories and jurisdictions that are not members and asking if there is any interest and sharing the reasons why we think being a part of IACA is really crucial. And with that, I will conclude and I'm happy to take any questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tanya. So we have got a couple of questions, which I'll just quickly run through in the chat. So we have a question from Haley Thompson asking about the IACA membership and whether it's open to just corporate registers and registries, or can other organizations join and participate?
Great question. Yes, other registers and organizations can join and participate.
Oh, fantastic. And then there's no other questions in the chat at the moment, other than a comment from Justin Highgate at Fostermore to say, sounds wonderful and that he will be there.
Wonderful.
I'm sure there will be some more questions at the end as well, but what we'll do, we'll move on to our next speaker for the event and then loop back and give everybody else a chance to ask questions at the end as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, so thank you very much for that update. I would now like to pass over to our next speaker. It is an honor that I would like to introduce Anton Rivieri, Board President of the European Business Registry Association. Antti is General Director of the Finnish Patent and Registration Office. He also has extensive experience as a civil servant working in a range of departments. He has also provided representation to the EU of Finland. Additionally, he is a member of the Administrative Council of the European Patent Organization and the chairman of the Committee for Patent Law at the EPO. Furthermore, he is a member of the Management Board of the EU Intellectual Property Office. He is an expert in his field, and it's the pleasure to be introducing him today. Over to you, Antti.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. Just to check that you can hear and see me well.
Can you just bear with me while I double check and make sure everybody in attendance can also see you? There we go. Yep, okay. So you're coming loud and clear. We can see you perfectly. Okay. Do you have a presentation to share, or are we?
No, I don't have one. Yeah.
That's absolutely fantastic. I just wanted to make sure before we started the session and confirm that we can see you perfectly.
Okay. Well, good morning to all of you, and thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to speak to you, and I'm aware that you have had a conference of a couple of days, and this is drawing to an end, and I hope you still can bear with me giving an update on what is happening in the European Business Registry Association, which is the abbreviation EBRA stands for. Like everybody else, it's been challenging 2 years. Like your organization, our organization is depending on people meeting, and it's been really a challenge for not being able to meet face to face. But despite that we've tried to go on, and what has happened, like probably for you as well, is that we have now found new ways of working, and I think we have learned very much for the future of this kind of international organization. The strength of this kind of network has been really challenged when you haven't been able to meet, and I think at the moment I feel that in EBRA we've succeeded to come clean through this challenging time. We have what we've done. We continue to work, of course. The board of the association has met regularly in Zoom format, which is of course an efficient way to try to keep the organization going. I have to confess that especially in 2020 there was a bit of problem with the activities going on, because our activities are based on working groups, and of course the situation made a small pause to the working groups working, but now I've sort of since this spring this year we have got the working groups working again, and especially using the technologies to facilitate that. What changes this has brought about, and I think some of them might be permanent, but I mean in any case, we of course, like you, we haven't been able to organize the annual conference we usually have in June every year. This year we organized the conference in virtual format, a very similar format as you are now doing, and I have to say that there was, of course, everybody was missing the opportunity to meet with colleagues, but it's also in our case the situation was such that we got more people participate because there was no need to travel and so forth. So in that sense, I see some merit in trying to keep up this use of virtual methods as well in organizing conferences. what we've done in order to make the association work more efficiently, we've started using, of course, the obvious, the different meeting facilities to facilitate meetings, but we have also started to really build up the association sort of from the digital point of view. We use a platform called Basecamp to collect the information of what is happening in different working groups and in the association, and I think this is something which will benefit all of us in the future in EBRA. We've also sort of realized that this is the situation where you have to step up with communications, and we've tried to sort of activate our activities in sort of using better the electronic communication with our members. So that's something which we've done. As to the activities we are having, we have working groups which deal with. There's one which is working with company law. There's one which is working with beneficial ownership registry questions, and probably the best known, which was also already mentioned by Tanya, is the International Business Registry report. So that has been under we in collaboration with your CRF and IACA and ASRLAC, we've been able to renew the report. We did a small case study on the impact of impact of COVID pandemic on business registries, and that was published finally now in October. And thanks for everybody who contributed into producing that report. But there is a digital survey which is ongoing at the moment, and as Tanya, I would like to invite everybody to join. The main change compared to the previous situation is that all the collection of the data is going to be done only digitally, and the publication is going to happen digitally, and we are in the process of improving and developing the digital sort of basis for this survey in order to make it more efficient for the future. And it allows, we have many good ideas on how it can be made a more dynamic one rather than doing a sort of a yearly report always. But like Tanya, I hope the deadline for answering the latest survey was extended, and I hope as many of you as possible are able to respond. Then something which is more like an not as known and relevant to you has been we've had a project called eBox, which is related to the objective of how to provide simple and unified access to business registered data and business ownership control structures for the purposes of financial analysis and criminal investigation. So this has been a kind of a technology project in a sense that we've been developed this kind of a platform where part of the EBRA members were taking part, and this was done with the funding of the European Commission, and we've done the latest version, and the project was a success, and the eBox service, which is the result of this project, has been sort of welcomed by anybody who is a potential user for that project. So that's something where we've been really, trying to create something new for the purposes of sort of crime prevention and investigation of international business-related crime. Finally, just a few words on looking forward. We were planning as an organization to organize a General Assembly face-to-face this year in Brussels, but due to the persisting pandemic situation, we were forced to withdraw from those plans, and we are going to have a virtual meeting with members and holding the sort of official meeting through a written procedure. The good thing is that the EBRA board, we are finally meeting. We haven't met since beginning of 2020, and we are now going to meet in Brussels despite the situation. So we, at least at the board level, we are going to get the face-to-face action in the association working. We are very much looking forward to our annual conference next year, which is planned to be a real face-to-face conference, and it's going to be held in Sweden in June, and it's been hosted by the Swedish business registry, which is called Bolagsverket, and there's already elements of very interesting agenda, and I hope as many as possible are going to participate that event. Finally, just to say thank you again for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be part of your conference. It would have been even more pleasure to meet with you face to face, let alone to meet you all in Uganda, which would have been a very, very interesting and probably wonderful experience. But now I have to confine myself to talk to the camera on my laptop and wish you all a nice closing of the event. I'm sure you had a very good couple of days with interesting topics which you had on the agenda. Thank you. But as Tanya, I'm of course prepared to respond to any questions you might have.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Antti. That was wonderful to hear from you today. Fantastic to hear from both yourself and from Tanya. I would like to say a huge thank you. And again, I appreciate as well that time zones mean that we're all at different points in the day right now. And I've just realized that Tanya, you're joining us from 3 a.m. this morning. So a huge thank you to you on that point as well. I'm not sure what time it is with you, Antti, at the moment.
I'm on the almost same time zone. So I'm in the Uganda time almost.
Oh, so not too bad then. Not quite 3 o'clock in the morning for you.
Yep.
Okay, can I just open up the floor and see if there are any questions again from anybody in attendance today? Either pop your hand up and we can promote you so you can ask a question virtually, or pop it into the chat as well. I can see as well, while we're waiting to see if anybody has any question or any additional questions, Martin Fiddler-Jones has also popped into the chat the link to the survey for people to complete as well. So that's fantastic. Thank you very much for that, Martin. Okay, so Hayley Thompson has a question for yourself, Antti.
Yep.
Similar question that we asked to Tanya as well. In terms of if an organization wants to join, is it open to just corporate registers and registries, or can any organization request to join?
Yep. The EBRA membership is confined to corporate registries, and that's the starting point. We even have it in the Articles of Association, the definition of which kind of entities are eligible for membership. So it's I can't, as much as I would like to have more members, the thing is defined in our rules that it's open for corporate registries. There is of course a sort of a bit more precise definition, so it's a bit wider than being only a sort of traditional corporate registry, but that's the limitation, I'm afraid.
No, that's perfect. That makes complete sense. What would be the best? I'm sure there's plenty of resources available as well, though, for organizations who are interested and want to find out a little bit more. I'm sure there's plenty of resources we can point them to, particularly in the chat as well.
Yep.
They can follow up and follow on to all the activities and developments. Okay. I can't see any more questions coming through again in the chat. However, I would like to just take a moment to say one final big thank you to you both for attending today. It's wonderful to have you here. We do have a small gap now of about half an hour until our closing ceremony. So I would like to invite all attendees to I would say if we're in the building right now, I'd say go and get a coffee, have a cup of tea, and we'll see you back here shortly. But it's not quite the same when you have to do that virtually. But I look forward to seeing everybody in attendance in the closing ceremony, which will start in about half an hour. As always, please leave this webinar and then go back to the platform on the website and then join the closing ceremony from there. Once again, a huge thank you to our speakers and attendees today, and we'll see you shortly. Thank you very much. Bye.